scrapbook people, Traci Reed here today, coming at you with a layout using my brand new Jack and Skelly collection, and it is part of the YouTube hop today for the release of this adorable Halloween collection. So all of the other YouTube hop participants are in the description box if you want to hop along. There's a lot of inspiration with this adorable kit, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Today I'm going to be using this template by actually a team member, one of my girls who's also a designer at Sweet Shop Designs, Fiddle D, also known as Cheryl. I'm going to be using this template, which I have used to cut out these like pie wedges, I guess fan, because the template pack is called Your Biggest Fan, and we're going to be making a really fun layout using that template with these cute photos of Finn and I from 2021. I have my stickers and my journalers here, as well as some embellishments that I have printed from the digital kit. So let's get started. Oakley dokley, I love using templates because sometimes I'm just not feeling creative enough to come up with my own composition. So that's why we use sketches, right? And templates are just sketches on steroids, and because you have the PSD file, for me I can print and cut all of the little pieces of the template that I want. So what I actually only print and cut were these pie wedges though, and I didn't even print and cut them. I just aligned them on my silhouette mat and used the papers I already had printed to cut out these wedges. Now I'm roughing up the edges just for a little bit of bonus texture here, and then I'm going to adhere them down pretty much exactly where they are on the template. I don't stray very far from the template. I did rotate a photo, I believe, but I don't stray very far. I decided to use the white spider web paper on both outside edges of this composition to sort of even it out, and I guess not even it out, but I just like the way that I had the white paper on both ends to sort of lighten up the whole thing, especially since there's a lot of black on this page, so I wanted to add a lot of white. Now these pie wedges do not align perfectly like a pie would, like they don't line up perfectly on the template, and so I'm just kind of referencing where they're supposed to go and spacing them that way. Now I do wish that I had paid a little bit more attention. I'm not sure if I put them down wrong or if the template was just not quite centered, but I do end up with a lot of blank space on the bottom right corner of the layout that I would have liked to have not had, because it feels a little bit not off-center, well I guess off-centered, but it just feels a little bit not quite right at the end. Like I should have something down there in that corner. Everything feels very heavy in the top left corner, but it was something I couldn't realize was happening until after the layout was already done. So at the end I do put some glitter down that I could have, if I had thought about it, put on outside the pie wedges, and that would have helped, but nope, that's not what I do. So I'm sticking all of these photos to each other so they all go down as one big block, and trying to make sure that there's no weird blank space in the pie wedges, although I am going to cover up a lot of the gaps between the pie wedges and things like that with these embellishments. I decided to go with the fan folds from the digital kit for the embellishments rather than flowers for this page. I thought that they fit the vibe a little bit better, like the whole party-ish vibe, since we are dancing in the photos, and so I'm going to distress the edges of those and put them down as well. The majority of the embellishments that I use on this page are actually from the digital kit. I'm really warming up to using the digital kit as printables a lot more than I used to be, so that's super fun. And then the title, Very Scary, is actually word art embellishment from the digital kit as well. And that, sorry, we're dead, it's like a welcome sign or a we're closed sign. That is a digital embellishment, but it's also a journaling card in the journaling card pack. So it's very small here because I used it I printed out the embellishment rather than the journaling card, but if you wanted it at a bigger size, it's in the journaling card pack as well. And it's gonna go right here. And then that My Little Pumpkin is part of the digital kit too. And then I will move on to the stickers here in a second. I'm gonna cut off this branding strip. I like printing these with the branding strip, but just like if I'm using a paper collection, I gotta cut it off. Very nice. I love those skeletons. I thought that these photos were perfect for this kit because we've got dancing skeletons and we are dancing skeletons. So I made it the whole background paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick the title down. I just want to frame the top of our heads and the side of my head there so that it doesn't cover it up too bad. Gonna have to rearrange just a few things. I want this to be more embedded at the top, like nestled in. So everything's going up just a little bit, but it's okay if there's a little sticky residue because I am going to be putting more stuff down. Very scary. I love this super cute layout. I kind of like the fact that I am going back and scrapbooking some of my favorite Halloween layouts, things that I have scrapbooked before, like in an October daily as 12 by 12. I have another one coming up with photos from 2007 of my oldest this week, and man, what a trip down memory lane that was. Okay, so I've got the stickers that I want to use, which of course includes more skeletons, but also some of the floral stickers from the sticker sheets as well. Just gonna adjust. This is why I use liquid glue often on the skinnier pieces, because you can move it around a lot more than when you use the tape runner, especially on this Epson premium presentation paper that I printed on. Hooray for liquid glue, although it does leave a residue, so you can't move it around. Like, you can't take it off and move it somewhere else because you definitely will have liquid glue residue, but if you just need to reposition it slightly, it works a lot better. You can see me struggling with those fan folds with the tape runner glue. Okay, so we anchored all of the fan folds and that top corner with those floral clusters, and now we're going to add some dancing skeletons and some stars. Then I get all of these stars put down, and I feel like this page just does not feel done to me. It's just feeling like, I don't know. I think it's all of that dead space down there in the bottom that was really bothering me. So I get out the moon confetti and I add a little journaling strip, and then also that spooky cute little tab, if I can ever get this knee up. The spooky cute tab, and I think that breaks up the photos a little bit, or a little bit better right here. Adds a little bit more orange to the page. And then I also have these puffy sticker stars, and I think that they're either going to be from Studio Calico, or not Studio Calico, whew, Cocoa Daisy, or Stitcher's Twist kits. They're just in my stash, so I thought that they would match, lighten things up a little bit, so I'm going to add them in all the random places. And then I'm going to add those big acrylic stars too, which are actually from Colorcast Designs, again from my stash way back when. I thought I might add these pumpkins, but I didn't like the way that the oranges clashed, so instead we're going to add these big stars. And I think that really helped with the composition of this and made it a little bit more visually interesting than what I had before. If I can ever decide where to put that star. I was gonna peel off the backing, but then I decided it would probably stick better to the paper if I had the paper backing on it, so we're gonna do that instead. Drop it, because I always drop everything. And that gives you 3 points of contact for, it actually goes with those clusters, but it just gives you a lot more visual weight to move your eye around the page than what I had before, and I think that really helped. Holding it down with a Gatorade bottle is a total pro tip here. All right, last but not least, I want to add in some bling. So I'm gonna just dump these moons, dump them on glue, because I want it to be a nice thick line of just serious glitter happening here. I don't want there to just be like random moons. I want it to make a big line. So I'm adding a lot of liquid glue, and then I'm just dumping these moons onto the line, tapping them off, adding them again until I'm happy with the way that it looks. But I think you can see what I mean. Like if I had added these moons around the outside of the pie pieces, it would have added a little bit more weight to that bottom corner and it wouldn't have felt so off-center at the end, which was just my bad because I don't think I really noticed that it looked off-centered and like really heavy in the top corner until it was all done. So fine, it is good. I like it the way that it is. It'll bother me a little bit, but that's just my own fault. So I added a little bit more, just some moons up here in the corner too, just so that the ones in the arc wouldn't be all alone. And then I called it good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. Don't forget there's an entire YouTube hop in the description box below. And I will see you next time. Thank you.